Right, so we've done that, and now my deck's not 8, my deck is only 5.
Mm-hmm.
So then we move to the Mythos phase.
Many of my girlfriends have been disappointed by throughout the ages.
Put 1 onto the Doom. Clang.
Yep. And then draw an encounter.
Draw an encounter. Swarm of rats.
Swarm of rats.
It's attached itself to me. Okay.
I'm glad they decided to go pick on the little girl. They decided the guy in the trench coat.
I think I'd rather have him try to bite me. Okay. Right.
Well, you know what they say, once you go rat, well, that's that.
That's that. Oh. Okay. Okay. They've got a strength of 1 and I've got a strength of 1, haven't they? And, okay.
My encounter is Rotting Remains. Revelation. I test against a 3. Ooh.
A sickening display of gore causes you to retch. You're glad this wasn't you.
All right. I've got a test against a 3, and I've got a 3. So I'm even Steven right now. Ooh, and I take horror for every one that I fail. Do I have anything?
Why? Oh, you take horror because of the psychosis.
Yeah. Well, I take damage from the psychosis. Ooh. I am going to burn my physical training card. I'm going to add that to my roll. That'll give me a 1, so I'll be a 4 against a 3. Check, and occultist. An occultist is a -1. So I get a 3 against a 3, and I pass.
Okay. Well done.
So I don't take any damage, don't take any horror. That was good. Good burn of a card there.
Right. So it's back to our turns now then, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I got any strength 1? Oh yes, I could overpower that thing, but maybe I don't want to use that one.
Yeah, what is your combat? A 1.
So
you're even Steven against a rat.
Thank you.
You can call it a swarm if you want, but I'm only seeing 1. Swarm must be his name.
So can I discard this card and add 1 to my roll?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, so I'm discarding that and adding 1 to my combat roll against the rats then.
Yep. Okay.
Oops. Oh, damn it, that was a 0. I wanted that. +1.
+1. Awesome.
Why do every time I discard a card, I don't get something that means I wouldn't have needed to do that in the first place? So the rats are dead.
Yep, rats are dead. Throw
because
them in the
they
discard
take extra damage because of my switchblade. Ha ha!
All right, now mine.
No, that was only my first turn. Oh, sorry.
That was the encounter.
Yeah. Hey? No, that was my turn.
Encounter?
No, that was my turn.
Oh, that was your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, you can take an extra encounter if you want.
No, thank you. I'm good.
that was actually my free turn. I've still got 3 turns left because of Luca.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I've got anything that can help me search. I can give myself a +1 to search, that's all. I'll play this to give myself a +1 to search then. So it's a 4 against a 4 for searching. And that's a
-1.
That's a -1. If you fail, take a horror. Balls.
Yeah, you need to be real careful with your horror there.
Yep, I can only take 3 left.
Yep.
Okay. In that case, then I will move into the hallway, ready for you catching me up. And with my final turn, I will draw a card.
Okay. Now, I am going to use my flashlight again. that'll be the second one off of my flashlight. So that's a 2. So that essentially takes me to a 5, and I'm trying to beat its 4. Another rules clarification here, you don't add the flashlight to your intellect, you actually subtract it from the shroud. So instead of a 5 versus 4, it's going to be a 3 versus 2. The reason you actually do it that way is because no modifier can take a number below 0. So let's say it had a shroud of 2 here, the flashlight would take the shroud to a 0. That way it would be an intellect 3 versus a shroud of 0. And then, no matter what, as long as I didn't draw the red auto fail, I would automatically win. Because even if I was playing on the nightmare difficulty and drew a -8, it would still only take my intellect to a 0, and a 0 would be a 0, and it would be a tie and a win. So that's why you take it off the shroud instead of adding it to your intellect.
Oh, they're two-handed weapons, are there? Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I get the Elder Sign. +1 for every clue, so that takes it 5, so I get the last clue off of there.
Well done.
We have defeated the seller now.
So they still stay on the board even though we've defeated them?
Yes, yes. Because, for instance, the attic, if we wanted to, we could go fight the Flesh Leader.
Okay.
All right. So that's my first turn. I'm going to take my second turn to move into the hallway.
Okay.
And then I think I will draw a card.
So considering we have to play 6 clues to go through this now, and we've got all these, does that mean that, say, you play 4 and I play 2 and we're both left with 1 clue extra each then?
Uh-huh.
So that clue would carry over to the next part, would it?
I have edited out this particular section right here just because I misunderstood his question. I think what he was asking was, yes, the clues that we advance the act with carry on over with us into the next act. So we would spend the 6 clues, turn the act over, and we would still have like 1 or 2 apiece to apply to the next act. I was thinking that he meant in the next game in the campaign, which they would not obviously do. I also got off on a tangent where I was trying to look in the rules and find if you could spend clues as bonuses to your skill points. I thought you could, but what I was doing, I was mistaking that you can do that in Arkham Horror, the board game, and I think you can do that in Eldritch Horror, the board game. I think the board games you can spend clues. It's not a good use of clues, but if you need to, you can spend them for points. But that isn't allowed in the card game here.
Okay.
All right, and I was going to draw a card. So, oh, nice. Okay. Things are coming up well. So now I need to get rid of the flashlight. All right, that was the end of my turn.
So we just discard the clues now then?
Yeah, is that what the objective says? When the round ends, investigators in the hallway may as a group spend the required number of clues to advance. You know, if I could actually learn to read and do exactly what the card says, I wouldn't have so many mistakes. Another one here, as you saw just then as we were reading it, it says when the round ends, we can spend the clues and advance the act. We're spending them in the middle of the round because the round isn't actually over until the very end, just before we go into the mythos phase again. So we shouldn't have spent the clues here, which means that what happens next shouldn't have happened when it did. And the damage that we're about to take from the thing we're about to spawn in shouldn't have happened to us because it shouldn't have been there. It would have spawned in at the very end of the turn, and then we would have had an investigation phase to deal with it before it actually hit and did damage to us. So we actually made it a little bit more difficult on ourselves by getting the rule wrong here. So yeah, I will spend 4.
I'll spend 2.
Okay. 2, 3. Give us both 1 clue left. All right, so we have advanced the act. If you want to flip that one.
Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow. What? Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders as it consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking passage into the parlour has vanished. Reveal the parlour. Put the set-aside Lita Chandler into play in the parlour. Spawn the set-aside Ghoul Priest in the hallway.
Okay. And you want to flip the parlor. The parlor says, you're unsure what would happen if you tried to cross the threshold of the strange barrier, but based on its extreme heat, you sure as hell don't want to try. But we've broken down the barrier, so we flip it.
All right.
There are no clues. It's got a shroud of 2 if there anything needs to be done with that. And it contains Lita Chandler, the Zealot.
All right. I'm just trying to understand what the parlour says. An action to resign. This is too much for me. You run out of the front door fleeing in panic.
Now, resigning is one of the actions you can take whenever it gives you a choice that you can. You have to be in a place that allows you to.
Why would you resign? Because that's just failing the game, isn't it?
Well, it means that you are basically out of the scenario, but it's like if your character is about to die, let's say that you're sitting there and let's say you've got the ghoul priest on you and you're down to 1 hit point left, you could resign and just run on out of the building, and that will keep your character from taking bad effects in the next thing. For instance, if you go insane, if you burn up all your sanity in this mission, that doesn't put you out of the game. I mean, it puts you out of this scenario, but you still get to go into the next scenario. But in the next scenario, you would be 1 less sanity. You'd have a mental problem.
Okay.
Or if you used up all your hit points, then you would have a physical disability in the next scenario. Resigning is a way of keeping that from happening. It's you voluntarily running out of the scenario.
Okay.
Because the parlor opens into the parlor's where the front door is, so that's why we've got that choice now.
Okay, and then the next part of it says, while Lita Chandler is not controlled by a player, she gains the ability to parley. If you succeed, take control of Lita Chandler.
Yeah, you can spend an action parlaying with her and trying to take control of her, trying to talk her over to our side and fight with us.
Okay.
And when you control her, everybody at the location gets a +1 to their combat skill. And anytime you successfully hit, that person does 1 extra damage.
What does this curved arrow mean?
That's something that says that's whenever it happens. It says, that curved arrow means when an investigator at your location successfully attacks a monster, that investigator deals 1 + 1 damage. That just means that happens every time that someone...
If she's there, yeah.
Yeah, if she's on our side.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so do we discard this breaking the barrier now, part 2?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're on to Act 3 now, have you?
Yep.
What have you done? A woman with a torch stands in your parlour, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? She screams, furious. Before you can answer, a ghastly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing towards you. Objective: if the ghoul priest is defeated, advance.
So we have to defeat the ghoul priest.
Right, so it's down to fighting now, is it? We're screwed. I can't fight.
Doesn't matter. He's a prey.
What does that mean?
His ability is prey, which means he attaches himself to the highest combat skill.
Okay.
So he's going to attach himself to me.
Right.
And yeah, he has got we have to roll a 4 or higher.
Are these not his health and sanity things?
No, that's how much damage he does to us.
Oh, right, okay.
Every turn that he gets attacked, he automatically does 2 damage and 2 insanity.
Okay.
And he's got 10 hit points. 5 per investigator.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so that was the end of that turn. So now the Ghoul Priest attacks.
Do we not advance the Doom track and have any encounters or anything?
No, we've just finished the investigator part.
Okay.
Now we go to the enemy phase. This is the first enemy phase we've had.
Okay. Enemies with the hunter keyword move towards nearest investigator. Each engaged enemy attacks if able.
Yeah, so he does 2 damage to me.
Well, automatically?
Yeah. Anytime monsters all automatically hit you if they're able to.
Really?
Yep. So I've got 3 damage now. And then he does 2 insanity. So I've got 3 horror now. And my psychosis, when you take 1 or more horror, take a direct damage. So I'm going to take another damage. So I've got 3 horror and I'm going to have 4 damage.
That's so overpowered. I don't see how we can fight that.
He's a boss. All right, so I've still got 5 damage and 2 sanity left. So I definitely cannot afford to take any more hits.
Right. But you automatically get hit next turn, so there's nothing we can do because there's no way we can...
get an attack before he does.
Yeah, but we can't do 10 damage to him.
Or we can evade him or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay.
All right, reset actions, ready exhausted cards. We both get a resource and a card. Remember, this is Arkham Horror. Remember your Lovecraft. Everybody dies.
Yep. And I get a skill that's designed for investigation. Well done, Mindfiend. Okay.
Right.
And then we go to the Mythos phase. So we add 1 on the Doom track. Clang.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be a problem now. That thing's going to munch on
us
long before that happens.
Alrighty, draw your encounter.
My encounter is...
Rotten Remains.
Test 3 sanity.
Willpower.
Willpower. What's my willpower?
You have a 4.
I have a 4. What's my abilities? No, nothing there that helps. Okay. Oh.
Got anything you're going to play against it? Let me see if I got anything I could help you with.
I need a token that's got a mind on it, do I?
Yep.
Nope. Not got anything that I can play against it.
I do. I will help you by discarding my old book of lore.
You can do that?
Yep. As long as you're in the same room with someone.
Oh, right. Cool. Thank you. So that gives me a +1, does it?
Mm-hmm.
So I've already got +1, so I've got +2 now then over it. And I get an Elder Sign. Oh.
Oh, nice.
But I haven't got my amulet, so I don't automatically succeed.
So it's a +0. So yep, you defeated it.
So,
all right, you take no damage.
Okay.
All right, what's mine? Frozen in Fear. So my Frozen in Fear goes into my threat area.
Oh, no.
And first time you do a fight, a move, or evade every round, it costs 1 extra action.
Can I use up actions to get rid of your psychosis?
No. I'm the only one that can do that. Okay. It is now the investigating phase.
Right. Okay. Well, with my first turn, then I am going to. Can I swap this for the knife? Do I pay 2 cost? Do I swap this for the knife for the switchblade?
Yes. Yeah, you'd have to discard the switchblade.
Because that's a two-handed one. It's got 2 hands on there.
Oh, baseball bat.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, he comes swap, pulls out the baseball bat, so I pay 2 resources.
Is that your free action?
That's my free action.
Okay.
Now that when you get +2 strength for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage. So that would give me a +3 strength. That would give me a strength of 3.
Yeah.
No chance. And what's your ghoul thing got? Your boss?
He's got a 4.
He's got a 4, so I'd still be at -1 from him.
I can help you with a attack.
No, you don't need to. I've got plenty. Can I only play 1 card at once, or can I play 2? If I want to add them to my rolls.
The ones that you just discard out here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you can play more than 1.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I'm going to play overpowered.
Okay.
And I'm going to play my knife. That gives me +3. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So in total, now I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 against his 4 now.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Okay. I get a -1, so I hit him.
Got a 5. Yes, you did.
And
Very
because
good.
of the baseball bat, I do extra damage.
Yep. You do +1 damage. So you've done 2 damage to him. Nicely done.
What does that say? If a skull or a thingy symbol is revealed during this attack,
And the baseball bat breaks, and you lose it.
when has a skull appeared? Was that?
That's one of the tokens.
Oh, it wasn't the -1 I got though.
No. It's a special token that looks like a skull.
Right. Okay. So he's taken 2 damage now.
Yeah, he's down to 8.
Okay.
Well done.